Alright guys, I want to start by saying I've noticed a lot of affiliates of Gymshark have been making these kind of videos, and I've been wanting to say this for a while now. I've known since last month, and like I just can't wait to say it. It's been a massive goal of mine for like so long. I can't actually see the camera screen other than on my phone, so every shot I get, I kind of have to like blag and hope for the best that I'm actually getting the shot. What's on, guys? So I've been asked a lot of questions. I decided to do a Q&A and kind of like answer the most entertaining slash interesting ones slash ones that you wanted to know the most about. So this is going to be 20 questions, maybe a little bit more than 20 questions. I originally planned to go down onto the beach into like some nice scenic, beautiful Cornish coastline, amazing epic spot. But as you can see, the weather is absolutely shit. So instead, I'm sat at the beach in my dad's old man car because my car's broken, and they're gonna do the Q&A from here. I wanted to keep this kind of like unfitness related. I've got like loads of general questions and interesting questions and cool stuff that I thought you guys might be curious about. So I've selected a few. If I don't answer your questions, put them down below in the comments and I will answer every single one that I can. Okay, so first question is from Corte, C-O-R-T-E. I'm dyslexic, by the way, so I'm low-key retarded. I can't actually pronounce a lot of names. Anyway, any tips on being confident or meeting new people as a student? Okay, being confident and meeting new people as a student. To get more confident, you have to be scared. I had such bad anxiety when I started uni. Like, public speaking, I love it now, but I was absolutely shit at it. So in order to get better at it, you have to make yourself scared, have to put yourself in those situations. So like, go up to people, speak to new people, ask people questions, ask to borrow something off someone, or like just sit next to someone new and start chatting with them in a break, even if it makes you scared. The thing that helped me the most when I started university was asking a question every single lecture. I used to be scared to like speak in public, put my hand up, ask questions. So what I would do is every lecture that I had, I'd make sure I answered a question. And it's going to be scary as shit at first if you have like a similar problem, but honestly, the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more outgoing you become, the more confident you become. So every lecture, make sure, or every lesson or whatever, make sure you answer a question. Even if you don't know the answer, or you just input something, put your hand up and answer a question. That's like my #1 tip. Other than that, it's just about getting scared. Putting yourself in the situations that make you feel scared, and get freaking scared. Right, Humble Gains asked, do you regret going to uni as you probably could have put more effort into YouTube? I regret nothing really, bro. No, I don't. I don't regret uni. If I knew what I knew now, I already had that knowledge, would I go again? No, I wouldn't. But I would not be doing YouTube unless I went to uni. Like, I discovered YouTube from uni, and the reason like I've had success with YouTube is because of uni as well. So it's taught me a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things about myself along the way, met new people, become more confident. I don't regret it, man. If things like that are like kind of what shapes you, and it was like a big part of my life, but you definitely don't need to go to uni, like on the flip side of things. But I don't regret it, bro. No. Blackie Galloway asks, any advice for someone in college wanting to build mass in the gym? Most important thing is food. Prep your meals, bring your meals to college or school or university or whatever it is, and just make sure you have that like constant flow of calories in you. You want to be in a calorie surplus, you want to be eating enough. Biggest place people go wrong is not eating enough food. Favorite drum and bass artist and why? Bro, if you've been following me recently, you'll know that I've become absolutely obsessed, and I mean obsessed with drum and bass. My favorite drum and bass artist at the moment has to be Friction. The night that made me love drum and bass was a week before all my final year of university exams. I had like a mental breakdown, decided to go out and get absolutely spangled before my exams, having like never really gone out and got fucked up before. And I listened to, and playing in like a small village like near my town was Chase and Status, Friction, High Contrast, and Shy Effects, and like it was absolutely mental. But for me, Friction was absolutely freaking killed it. That's up. I'm not really into that like wobby kind of drum and bass where it's like whoop whoop. Those wobs, like I don't really like the heavy wobs. Like I like the proper like deep wobs, but I'm not really into like the. It sounds a bit like fidget kind of music. I'm not really into that. And Friction, just the sound like is so euphoric and it gets me so hyped. So that's why I'm loving Friction at the minute. A lot of you guys have been asking me this, and I've had a lot of questions regarding like my relationship with Gymshark. Other affiliates like Dylan McKenna, FaZe Jasper, Bella Fernandez have all been making these types of videos. And I just wanted to do mine. I just wanted to say thank you so much, guys. Like, it's been a crazy journey and I can't believe I finally got here. And I just want to say that I'm finally officially dropped by Gymshark. Seen videos online, I've seen people who have been with Gymshark previously and are no longer with Gymshark, and for some reason everyone decides to go their own separate ways or part ways. I want to tell you that that is complete and utter bullshit. No one leaves Gymshark because Gymshark are good. The only reason someone would not be with Gymshark is because they got dropped by Gymshark. So all these videos and people saying, oh yeah, I've decided to leave Gymshark and go down my own separate career path and all this shit, they are fucking lying. Unless your name is Christian Guzman, who probably actually left to do his own thing, you are fucking lying. And I understand the reason for that, and that's because Gymshark holds a lot of value. Everyone wants to be a Gymshark athlete, and like if you say that you've been kicked out by a company, or if you say that you're no longer working with the company, you've suddenly lost all that value, and people are going to be like, oh, hang on a minute, why don't they like him? Maybe I shouldn't not like him as well. Double negative. But you know what I'm trying to say. I was going to kind of like make some funny video, like kind of shrugging it off and all this stuff, saying, oh yeah, well, I'm no longer working with the company, or tell it like a bit of a white lie, but I just couldn't fucking do it. But okay, Gymshark. Have I split with Gymshark? Yes, I have split with Gymshark. Why did that happen? Basically, a few weeks ago, I got a message from one of the managers at Gymshark. So you have like a athlete manager. It kind of manages all the athletes and everybody. And he was like, oh yeah, yo Mo, are you around tomorrow? I need to give you a call about something. So I basically got a call the next day, and he's like, yo Mo, what's up? Basically, I've got some bad news for you. What we're doing is we're no longer doing with Gymshark Academy. So we're closing the academy, we're getting rid of all the affiliates, and we're only having athletes from now on. And basically what that means is in Gymshark, you have athletes and affiliates. There's about 20 athletes which are on paid salaries, so people like Dave, people like Lex, people like Steve Cook, that are on paid big salaries. And then you have like a handful, so I don't know what it was, maybe like 50 or a little bit more affiliates that are paid based on commission and sales from code usage. They get free products every month and all that stuff, and you basically have like two sets of people. So he told me they're getting rid of all the affiliates, closing the academy, and they're just having athletes. And like when I heard about that, obviously I was a little bit gutted, just because like I absolutely love Gymshark, and I was like, okay, so I'm not working with them anymore because they're getting rid of everyone. And like kind of took it on the chin though. I was like, all right, it's out of my control. It's happening anyway, and no matter how I feel about it, it isn't going to change anything, so there's no point in like getting down about it. I kind of accepted it. I was cool with it. I was chill as fuck. Then I spoke to a certain friend of mine who was also a Gymshark affiliate, and she was like, yo Mo, I'm becoming an athlete with Gymshark. I was like, hang on a minute. They said they're getting rid of all affiliates, so why are they keeping this one person on? I thought that was a little bit strange. Then when I spoke to a few other people, because I was like, oh, okay, everyone's getting kicked, like I wonder how they feel about it and stuff, all the other affiliates. And then they are also all becoming athletes as well on like a paid salary or a paid payroll. And at that point, I was like, you motherfuckers. So basically what they did was they did close the academy, they did get rid of all affiliates, but they made all affiliates into paid athletes, except me and this one other person, and then told me that they were just getting rid of the academy and all affiliates, but they didn't mention that all affiliates were becoming athletes. So at that point, I was fucking pissed, man. Like, I wasn't cool with that, because like, I don't mind if it's something out of my control and there's nothing that I can do about it, or nothing that I can kind of fix or resolve or work on. Like, I'm completely cool with, because what's the point of like getting worked up over something that you can't change? But then when they told me like those alternative facts where they are getting rid of all affiliates, they are getting rid of the academy, but that's because they're making all affiliates into paid athletes, I wasn't happy. I was like, motherfuckers. So I felt like a bit betrayed in that sense. So basically my contract with Gymshark ended in September. Like you sign a contract and you're with them, and you either renew the contract or don't renew the contract, and they're not going to renew the contract with me. Like I said, I could bullshit you and say that, oh yeah, fuck Gymshark, I decided to leave him and do my own thing. I think if you leave Gymshark, you either have something very, very good going on for you, like CG, or you are a fucking moron. But yeah, that's happened. I'm no longer working with them anymore. And like when I found out that it was only really me that wasn't getting like lifted to an athlete, like I just felt like it's just like a bit of heartache, really. Like I felt like I'd broken up with a girlfriend, or like broken up with someone I really loved, or had been like kicked out of a friendship group, because like some of the best people I've met and some of my like closest friends I've met through Gymshark and from Gymshark. So it hurt me, man. It hurt me deep, and that was weird, because like girls, like I never felt that before, but Gymshark, like bruh, Like, what I did was, as soon as I found out that everyone was getting like made athletes, I basically texted the guy that I was in contact with, and I was like, yo man, like, why, I just want to know why the company don't want to work with me anymore. Is it my persona? Is it sales I'm making aren't good enough? Is it anything to do with that? He was literally like, no, it's a managerial decision beyond me. So like, if it wasn't my persona and it wasn't to do with sales or anything like that, then that only leaves one thing why I got kicked out of Gymshark. Either because I'm like crippled, and they hate crippled people, either because someone in the company, a manager or someone high up in the company, doesn't like me personally, which is kind of the only thing that was left out of that list if it wasn't to do with sales and wasn't to do with my persona, or it was to do with my persona and someone was, and they're like low-key lying. So I reckon it is to do with the shit I do, my persona, because I have been in trouble with them in the past. So like certain things that I've said, they've like contacted me about and being like, yo, you can't do this kind of thing. This is just all speculation. Like, I can only assume because they haven't actually told me why they fucking kicked me. But yeah, so I reckon I've just been too savage. The way I act and the things I do don't really align with their views. So yeah, it is what it is. Do I regret it? Do I regret doing the things I do? Fuck no. Would I go back and do all the same things that I did again in terms of like trolling and being a savage? Yes, I would. Even if it got me kicked out of Gymshark again, I would do it. Like, me as an athlete, I don't align with Gymshark and what they want as an athlete. Like, and the thing is, I'm never willing to change that. Like, I've come to a realization that I don't want to change. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. And so in a sense, like, it's a massive weight off my shoulders. And my last few uploads have been absolute fire just because I literally don't give a fuck and can do whatever I want. And you know what? Like, I don't regret anything. Like, I have absolutely no regrets. And it feels good, man. It feels good not to have that weight on my shoulders. I can produce whatever content I want. I can say whatever I want. And I would do everything that I did again. Like I said, I'd much rather keep doing as I'm doing and stay like 100% real and not pretend to be something I'm not and not work with Gymshark than to change, pretend to be like this person that I'm not just to stay at the company. That's basically what happened. So it is what it is. No regrets, bro. No regrets. I regret fucking nothing. Right, the whole one door closes and another door opens kind of thing. Like, I'm now working with BPI as well in terms of like protein and supplements. I'm with BPI. I've already been approached by like a shit ton of clothing brands. I'm just looking for the right one. Like, if I actually, my philosophy is I'll only work with companies that make products that I would buy myself. And you might be asking, Mo, why are you working at BPI? Because if you remember a while ago, BPI actually tried to sponsor me and I sent all their products back. And basically, at the time, that was just me being an asshole. In hindsight, I didn't agree with the way that they sold their products. What they basically do is they just get loads and loads and loads of affiliates, give loads of discount links out, and then get sales through those affiliates. And I didn't really agree with the amount of affiliates they had, so I sent everything back. And basically what happened was I went up to the athlete meetup event, and I was chatting to Brandon Harding, I was chatting to Andre Dew about BPI and what they think of the brand and all this stuff. They're telling me about them, and like, I'd only heard good things really. And for the first time, I actually tried their products at this event, and I'm telling you right now, the protein, especially the strawberry one, like, I only tried it with water as well at the time, and it was some of the best shit I've tried. In terms of protein, it's the best tasting. The macros are really good in it. I was like, hang on a minute, these products are actually really good. Tried the BCAAs were incredible. And then a guy called Justin, who I think he like manages the UK side of things, came up and spoke to me, started chatting to me about BPI, and he's like, yo, Mo, we want you back, kind of thing. And then I was like, all right, what are you gonna do for me? He was like, okay, Mo, we can't pay you anything, we can't put you on a salary, but we want people like you. I've seen the way you interact with people at the event, I've seen the way you speak to people, and like how like you get along with people, and I want to take people like you to expos, and I want to take people like you to meet other people, meet your followers, meet your fans, kind of thing. And from that moment on, I was like sold. I was like, fuck it. I've had offers from companies that I've turned down that have offered me much better deals in terms of like paying me and giving me money and giving me products and shit. But for me, the fact that the potential was there for me to be flown out to these places and meet all those people, and that is one of the things that they emphasized, and they had good products, was what like sold it for me and made me want to go with BPI. So guys, if you want to support me, if you want to get me around the world to meet you guys at expos and shit, I've got a code below. BPI, it's like Mo40, I think. The strawberry protein's the best shit. The caramel, salted caramel one's real good as well. BCAs are incredible. If you want to support me, if you want to get me around the world and actually get me to be a paid athlete of theirs, use my code, and then we'll force them to do it. serious, I can't pronounce her name. When should drop sets be included in training, as in every exercise, only certain exercises? Okay, generally, drop sets I always do to failure. I don't really go to failure on big compound movements. So squat, bench, and deadlift, movements that are using more than one joint, so like presses, pulls, I won't really go to failure on, because obviously as soon as you start going to absolute failure, you're risking injury. In terms of drop sets, I'll only stick to really isolation stuff for drop sets, or bodyweight stuff, and a few compound movements, and that's kind of like my philosophy behind those. King in the North Him 07 asks, hard style or drum and bass? Bro, that's a hard one, man. I absolutely love both. Like, I've played guitar for over 10 years now, so I've listened to a lot of music. I've liked a lot of music. I like absolutely everything. I like classical, I like metal, I like drum and bass, I like literally every genre of music. I'm gonna have to say at the minute though, drum and bass. I still love hardstyle, I still listen to it, but drum and bass, man. James Wren asks, how many girls have you played chess with? All right, a common misconception of me, people look at me and they think, oh, this guy must be some steroided up fuckboy that has like every STI under the sun and has fucked like 500 girls. I'm literally the polar opposite from that. Like, over the last 3 years, I've had a girlfriend. Up until a few months ago, I've had a girlfriend for the last 3 years. Then I had about a 1 month break where I didn't have a girlfriend. Then I had a girlfriend 2 years before that. I've basically always had girlfriends through my entire teenage life, and not just like loads of different girlfriends, like 1 or 2 girlfriends. Okay, so how many girls have I put my dick inside? Around 10, and half of those have been in the last few months. So like literally the only girls I've already slept with before then have been my girlfriends, and people get me completely wrong. Like, I've always had a girlfriend. I've never cheated on anyone in my life. Like, I don't plan on doing that to anyone ever, kind of thing. So I've slept with very few. I'm not saying I haven't had a lot of sex. I've had a fucking lot of sex because I've had girlfriends for a long time, but not with many people. So I kind of felt like I missed out, like, because I've always had a girlfriend, and like through uni I never went out. And then these last few months when I haven't had a girlfriend, I've had like a bit of a midlife crisis and been like, fuck, I need to go out, party, and fuck bitches, basically. So basically half the girls I've slept with in my entire life have been in the last couple of months. And like, in terms of sleeping with girls as well, like, I've had a lot of questions like asking about girls and all this stuff because you guys are real interested. In terms of sleeping with girls, for me it isn't like a social thing. Like, it isn't like, oh yeah, I've fucked this many girls. Like, it's like I just love experiencing things with people. So like, I love riding a motorbike, I love going surfing, I love diving, I love climbing, I love doing all this shit that gets me like this natural high, but it's all on your own. And I find that like going out, meeting someone you don't know, like connecting with someone you don't know, getting to know someone like on that night or over like a day or so, and then sleeping with them, like you get that same massive rush of like adrenaline or neurotransmitters, or that same kind of peak experience, as RSD call it, as you do doing these like adrenaline filled sports. But the difference is you experience that with someone else, and you connect with someone on such a deep level, and you both have such a sick time. That's kind of why like I'm just loving going out and like, yeah, slaying at the minute. So I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I absolutely love it, and I've got some catching up to do because like I'm like a late bloomer. Okay, so yeah, only about 10, which is like, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, well, I thought it was more than that, but no, only about 10. Liam Gale, do you reckon you shag Bear Minge cause of your body? Directly no, indirectly yes. So the way I look, confidence is absolutely everything. You could be ugly as fuck, but as long as you're confident, as long as you're happy with your insecurities, you're good. The reason I am confident is because of my body. Like, a lot of it is because of the success that I've had in the gym. So indirectly yes, directly no. It's about confidence. Fitness Aesthetics 2017. What type of girls do you like? I don't really, all right, I kind of do have a type, but I don't have a type. Like, I've always gone for like smaller girls, so like not really tall girls, and I've always had a thing for blonde petite girls. Like, a lot of guys, especially involved in the gym, like these really muscly hench looking women, and like I'm not into that at all. Like, I don't care if someone doesn't lift. I like kind of like short blonde girls. I don't care about boobs. I don't care if someone has no tits or tits, because like you're born with it. So like, what's the deal? I'm definitely an ass guy, but saying that, like, I'm open to anything. So I'm not gonna turn someone down. Oh no, you're not my type. Like, recently I've been really enjoying boobs. Like, even though that isn't my preference, like, I'm more of a bum guy. If I was to draw like my type, it'd be someone fairly short, fairly petite, blonde hair, blue eyes, and that's like what I'm normally into. But as I said, like, I don't really have a preference. Right, battery questions. I cannot read this one either. Hey man, through all your tough moments, people doubting you, mocking you, what made you so motivated and no matter what? Okay. in terms of motivation, like for me, like you've got to really pick apart why you want to do something. Like, why are you doing it? What does it mean to you? And I kind of see the gym as like a window in, or like a way into success. So at first, like my motivation was, I have to go to the gym or I'm gonna be like disabled for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be crippled for the rest of my life. So that was my initial motivation, like literally do it or die kind of thing. And for me, like I have to be successful, or I would rather die. Like, you hear the phrase, I would rather die than be unsuccessful. I would rather die than be unsuccessful. I have to make it. There is no option in terms of not making it, okay? I can't get a normal job where I'm standing up, like bar work, anything like that. Because of my leg, I'd literally be disabled in like a few weeks of doing that. So I have to get a job under my own terms. I have to do something that I love. I have to do something where I'm kind of like my own boss, or not just standing stationary all day. And yeah, like my parents have never had a lot of money. My mum and dad divorced. My mum lives at home alone with 2 twin sisters. Doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband or anything like that. My dad lives at home as well. And like around here, there isn't a lot of jobs, and they've always done the absolute best for me. And I feel obliged, like, to give back to them. Like, there's no option. I have to give back to them. I have to provide some return or support them in their later life, because they are fucked. They have no savings, they have no pension, they have nothing like that. My little sisters don't get anything from her dad. So in terms of staying motivated, it's like you just got to look at the deeper causes and why it is that you do things. For me, it's my family. Like, I need to be successful, I need to make the money. My health, if I don't make it or don't do this, I'm gonna be I'm literally, I might as well die. And another thing I do is just think about, how much does something mean to you? Do you really want to live the rest of your life working a 9 to 5 job? Is that a way to live? Fuck no. So I think of all those things whenever I'm feeling motivated. I think of the cause and the root reason why I do things, and yeah, and that picks me up. I could go on, I can make a whole video on this, but that's just kind of like briefly going over it. Would you rather lose 50% of your muscle mass or 90% of your social media following? 50% of my muscle mass, because I love you guys to bits, and 50% of my muscle mass is fun to build back up again. I'll be able to do it. I've done it before, I've done it again. I've probably lost more than 50% of my muscle mass, so easy peasy. EP Fitness 7. Editing. What helped you the most with editing? YouTube, bro. Everything I know, everything I learn is from YouTube tutorials. I've never got taught, never had anything like that, so YouTube, man. Colby Fitness UK asks, what was your highlight of your uni experience? I'm gonna have to say getting sponsored by Gymshark. I was sponsored by Gymshark at uni, and it was such a big goal of mine. Like, I was so happy. You don't understand how happy it made me. Like, I went out for a meal. I wanted to be part of that for so long. It seemed so unrealistic, and I actually did it. And being part of that family and part of that team was definitely the highlight of my uni experience. Like now I'm not with them. Being there, done that kind of thing. As I said, no regrets. I'm happy, but that was the highlight of my uni experience. Aina Kashyep. I don't even know if I don't even know anymore. What's the best way to have fun and to the fullest every moment? All right, so my advice to you on that is live in the moment. If something scares you, do it. Literally, if something scares you, do it. The best things I've done, the funnest times I've had, and like the best outcomes and like the biggest positive impacts that I've had on other people have been from being scared. If something scares you, you should do it. Don't overthink things. Don't think what if, like what if anything, what happens if like a meteor lands me right now? Who gives a fuck about that? Just literally do stuff and learn not to give a fuck. The only way you will learn not to give a fuck about what people think, or kind of like get over yourself and not take yourself too seriously, is to make yourself scared and do the things that scare you the most. Like, for example, I'm being asked to do a talk at my old school next week, I think. First thing I thought when I was asked was like, holy shit, like, nah, I'm not doing that. Why do I want to speak in front of all these people? And then I was like, oh shit, it's scaring me. That means I have to do it. If something scares me and like I have to freaking do it. Like taking my clothes off in public, I'm only human, man. Like riding a bike with no clothes on around the middle of London, that would scare anyone, because no one wants to be looked at and judged. But deliberately putting yourself in those situations is kind of the way you, like, for me anyway, I live in abundance. Like, learn to not care and just like just roll with it and do it. Yeah. How does it feel influencing so many people into fitness or motivating them? Fitness Ben 92 asks that. Dude, literally, it feels no different as it did when I had like 1 subscriber, man. It's crazy. Like, I still haven't really wrapped my head around it. It's weird. Like, when I meet people, I'm always blown away, and people are like, oh man, you motivate me to do this, you motivate me to do that. It's like, what? It's crazy, because like at the end of the day, I'm just doing what I do anyway, and I'm just documenting this and sharing it with you guys. And the fact that I can do what I love and do what I would already be doing anyway and give people value from it, and people can benefit from it, from something that benefits me, it just blows me away. And right, if I didn't answer your question, like I said, comment it down below and I will get back to you. I will try and get back to as many people as possible. My old Q&As as well are in the bio, so if I didn't answer it, it's probably because I've already answered it and it's like a really like generic question, so you can look at those there. I've got some exciting content coming this weekend. I'm going to a festival with Jay Jocelyn, Lauren Tickner, Brandon Harding, and a few other guys. It's going to be lit as fuck as well. Last festival of the year, so I'll vlog the whole thing. Got my boy Ted coming, who's a videographer. Right, I was thinking about making some merch as well, so if you guys wanted some like well-priced funny shit and wanted to support me, or just some cool kind of merch, let me know if you have any ideas. Like, I was thinking of a t-shirt that said like triggered as fuck on it, or euphoric as fuck on it, or just some like simple t-shirt like that. But basically we need like a squad name. Like, I don't want something too like egotistical, like Mo's this or Mo's that, like I fucking own you. I want something where it's like us, like kind of together, something cool. Like Mo Army was pretty cool, but it's got my name in it, so I don't really know how I feel about that. But if you guys have any ideas about merch or like t-shirts, or about like a squad kind of name for like this community that you've got going on, let me know in the comments down below, and if I use any of your ideas, I will send you free merch and free shit. Like Brandon's hard body is like a real cool idea, so something along those lines, or just like a quote or something like that, let me know, and let me know what you guys would wear, and I'll give some of it away, and then I'll get it like properly produced. But yeah, that was 20 questions, slightly over 20 questions. It's probably like 22, but we'll just shh about that. About to go and train a big ass chest session. The pump's gonna be juicy as fuck. It's probably gonna be on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, hit me up on Instagram. Like, I put the Q&A on there, so a lot of the questions I answered were from Instagram. If you guys want to support me, there's my training guide in the description down below. That's like the best one, that supports me the most. 40% off BPI with Mo40. It'd be cool if you guys use that, just to kind of show them what we can do and what we are capable of in terms of taking me to Expo, so I can meet you guys. And there's also a muscle food code down below as well, which gets you free chicken or a free pizza. The pizzas, honestly, are 100% worth it. Right, I can't even speak anymore, I've been chatting so long, but let me know what you think of the video. Give it a like if you liked it. Also, next to subscribe, there's a little bell button. If you press that, people aren't getting notified about like my uploads and shit, so it'll just basically give you a notification every time I upload. Hit that if you love me, and I'm gonna shoot. So I'll catch you later, guys. Keep killing it, and let's go train.